Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I haven't been well for a while, so I haven't been streaming. So I'm still trying to look after my voice, so I won't be speaking loads. Well, I probably will be, but I'll be trying to look after it. What we're going to do today is we're going to work through some UI issues that are on the howtocodewell.net site, and then if we've got a little bit of time after that, we're gonna play around with some of the code notes, which we haven't done in a while. So howtocodewell.net is live. Woo! So that's the big announcement, I suppose. Although it's a bit of a soft release, to be honest. I haven't mentioned it at all on the podcast, but it's been alive for the past 2-3 weeks, something like that. And there's stuff that's cropping up in the woodwork that needs to be solved. One of them is, if I get to the code, one of them is this little bad boy here. So HTML is actually showing on the page, which is not good. So here we have on the Docker Machine tutorial, learn how to install Docker Machine is within paragraph tags. Now, obviously, that's not good. So that's something that we're going to tackle today. And actually, I've got it here. So this is the howtocodewell.net website, and you can see that there. So what we need to do is escape this and then print this out as raw HTML. So can you see that on the screen? Oh, yeah, you can. Cool. So it's a pretty quick fix, I think, because I've narrowed it down to here. So what we got is a we need to get rid of the paragraph tags here and then just put this in as raw. So pipe this to raw and escape this as well. I think that will solve this issue. So let's have a little look. I've got a release that's going to be pushed out. I think it's next weekend. Not this weekend. I think it's the following weekend. Version 1.10 or version 1.1, which this is part of 1.1. So, okay. So this is 189. So let's go and create ourselves a branch for that. So let's do a first of all, let's just do a git status, make sure we're clean. Git checkout -b, and we're going to call this port. What did I call it? 189. 189. Yeah, 189. So this is lesson HTML. Okay, cool. So I suppose we should. I mean, this is live. I guess we should try and. This is live, not the other one. This is live. So I suppose what we should try and do is replicate this. So if we go to, this is the local stuff. So let's go to because there's no images. So if we go to here, now I've got a feeling this is different content, so it probably won't show. No, just says please change. So what I'll do is get into the CMS. So give me a second whilst I do that, and let's see if we can. So that is live, and that is local. Right, let's pick that out. Right, give me a second whilst I have a little play in the old CMS here, .local /CMS. I've been working on Angular today, so I haven't had any PHP input today, so I might be a little bit rusty. Let's go to courses, and I'm not feeling particularly great. Right, so I need to change the tutorial, right? So tutorials. So I'm doing this off stream. Bear with me a minute. This would be installing. Let's have a little search for that. So install the Docker machine. Let's click on edit. I can show you this. Right, so here we go. This is where I think it's I need to make the adjustment. So if we were to go over to if we were to go over to live site and grab that, it would be nice to have like a one-to-one. And then on the dev site, if we paste that in and then hit the save button down there, and then hopefully once this loads up, yeah, that's saved. We should be able to refresh this page and that should change back to what we've got. Yes. All right, so that's the replication. So this is local, this is live. Okay, so I can replicate the issue. That's great. So okay, let's see, how do we fix this? So here we've got we're escaping down in the code notes, but what we need to do is up here. We need to escape. So I think we need to get rid of the p tag first, right? Because I would imagine that this is in p. So let's just have a double check on that. And of course, you're going to load that up in a different window. So if we click on, come on, click on that. Yeah, so we got a p tag and then another p tag. Yeah, okay. So right, so we've got rid of the p tags. We should be able to pipe this out to raw, I think. Whoops, whoopsie. If I stop screwing around. So come on, that's the wrong. No. What's the shortcut code for on my small keyboard for pipe? Not that one. Not that one. Nope. Nope. Oh, come on. Have I even mapped? No. This is not good. Let me see if I can replicate it up here. There we go. Right. So grab that and then I don't know why my IDE didn't like that. Right. So and then pipe this to raw. And then I believe we need to also do some auto escaping as well. So we put that into there and put that down in there as well. And then tap that out. That's better. Right. So let's see if we can refresh this now. Let's get rid of the this old thing. And hopefully that has behaving itself. No, why? Oh, is it because I might have to clear the cache or something daft. Yeah, let me put in some test message or something and then print that out. I think I'm gonna have to flush the cache. Yeah. All right. Let's try that. So let's get into let's get into the container. I haven't done this in a while. So it would be well, we don't need to do it through compose. We could just do docker exec-it. It's app and bash. I think that's right. No, it's not. Docker ps-a. What's the container called? Website app 1. There we go. Docker exec-it website app 1. There we go. Right. And then if we did an ls, we're in the root. So if we can do bin console and then cache clear, that might be able to solve that. And I should have done that as the web user, so I'm gonna have to adjust the permissions. So yeah, once this is done and pushed over to GitLab, I think I'm going to just focus on some of the code notes because some of them are around. So these are code notes. Some of them do exist. So if we go to the live site, so some of them are in existence. So I believe the Linux ones are, some of them anyway. Yeah, so these notes here, they get pulled from a GitHub repository, an open source repository, and they marry up to the actual course. So some of them exist, some of them don't. Again, it's an open source thing, so some of them do. And they are supposed to sort of give more information about the video, you know, like more of a guide. So that's what we'll do once this caching is sorted. So let's do a chorn hyphen rv of and I believe it's var cache. Yeah. Okay. So fingers crossed that has solved that problem. Excuse me. I've got this nasty cold. There we go. Yay! I have this horrible, nasty cold that just won't leave. Right, that's good. That's good. We should now have one BR in there. So let's have a little look see on that. Click on you. Yes, so we have a BR. So if we go to let's just give it a bit bigger test. So if we go to installing Docker machine again in the CMS, just load that up. So if we were to, let's say, put in a space here and then do like test 1 and then like test 2, does that work? Does this come out as and then maybe foobar in bold? Does that work? Does that work? Oh, I've lost my window. Too many windows. Right, okay. So let me refresh this one. Again, I might have to do a cache clearance. But no, yeah, that it does work. Apart from the bullet list, which is a bit of an annoyance. It's something to do with my CSS, which isn't great. So we've still got the UL and li, so it's a problem with the CSS, not with the thing. So I mean, that's another problem, that's another issue, but that's all come through. We got a PR and that's in strong. Yeah, a P. Yeah, so that's good. I'm gonna just flip this back to what it was. So it's just so give me a second whilst I do that. So we're just gonna strip all this out and then save that. Cool. Okay. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I needed to do for that bug. Git status. Do a git diff. I think it is just, yeah, doing all that stuff. So let's do a git commit -am hyphen and I haven't really got a convention compared to, say, the code quiz stuff as to how to actually do pull requests, but we'll keep it like this. So 68. So so escaping raw HTML output. for lesson content, of lesson content. Cool. And we'll do a git push of GitLab. And you're probably going to complain. Nope. There we go. Okay, so that's up and go on to GitLab. So the idea is that I mean I haven't got much work in this sprint, to be honest. It's not a ginormous thing. I mean, I've done a bunch of stuff already, which isn't on here, but I'll put this to in test. Have I done that already? The remove of shop link. Anyway, this is stuff that I'm going to be doing over the weekend, and then hopefully by the following weekend we'll have all of this done, and then I can do my deployment, because I want to try and do like 2 or 3 week deployments. Anyway, so that's cool. One thing we're going to do then is get to the code notes. So as I mentioned before, the code notes are these lovely things which come in, and then the idea is that there'll be a transcript that I haven't created yet, but there'll be a transcript for the video or notes. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. No, not yet. Yeah, so these are in GitHub in course notes. So I call them code notes, but they're actually called course notes. And the idea is that so these are all the courses that I've created. And you'll see like this one here is Linux Bash for Beginners. You've got notes and transcripts. If I click on notes, you'll see the notes. And the way that this is done is that the number is the number of the tutorial, and then you've got the title. So if we look at the first one, the basics of Bash here, this is essentially, well, it's just a markdown file, which is this, nope, here we go, which is the basics of Bash, all of this. And the way I've got this running is that it literally is a Git dependency, and then when the containers rebuild, what they do is they do a Git pull of the latest version of the code notes, and then it does there's a import command, console command that runs, and it compares all the tutorials on the database to the tutorials in the code notes, and then it basically uses parse down, I believe, to parse the HTML from the markdown files, and then saves those as actual, parts in the database. And then when we come to load it, we're loading it from the database and not from markdown, from physical files. So what we're going to do is just create another one. I believe I'm going to focus on the Docker stuff, because that's that's the first one you'll see. So if you go to courses, the Docker machine one, so there's like these 4. They don't have any. So we'll create some. I mean, they're pretty straightforward. It's just markdown. Docker machine doesn't exist anymore. Docker machine is a tool that I've got this as a disclaimer in here. So please be aware that Docker has ended active development, and support for Docker machine. It is now recommended that native Docker apps such as Docker Desktop be used to manage local Docker instances, and also remote. I should have said it there. But because I mean, the reason why I'm keeping this here is because I work on legacy projects like all of the time. So I'm pretty sure someone out there is still needing to use Docker Machine, unfortunately. So we'll keep it nice and light. But anyway, this is the repository, how to code well / course notes .git. This is the repository, and what we do is we grab one of these issues. So there's 41 issues because there's 41 tutorials that don't have any course notes. We grab one of those and so like this one, for instance, so installing Docker Machine, and yeah, we grab one of those, and then I think it's here, yeah, and we just change this as a pull request. So I guess the first thing I need to do is actually switch the project. That would be wise. So let's go to course notes here. Okay, so we got the markdown on the right. Here we go. So installing Docker Machine. Let's just pull down the latest changes, just because I don't know how old this is. So let's do a git pull. Well, can't spell git pull. Git pull. There we go. So there are some that have already been created for Docker for beginners. And then we'll do a git checkout -b, and I have no idea what the convention is. I don't think I created a convention for this, so we'll just do 19. That's 10, 19. And this is so install Docker Machine. And we'll just start creating this out. So they don't really follow a format. If I go over to the first one, like Linux Bash for Beginners, it's just like, you know, it's very straight to it. There's no like wishy-washy stuff. So like this is how you would change a directory and all of this stuff. I guess with the installing of Docker Machine, because it doesn't exist anymore, we should have a message in there. So Docker Machine is no longer supported, and it is recommended that can't spell recommended. Recommended. No, still can't spell it. Recommended to recommended that native Docker apps are used to control local and remote Docker instances or remote Docker engines. Okay, and we'll put this as like bold wherever the. God, I feel rough. And it always happens at this time of year. Come back from holiday and then it's like, ugh. There we go. So a little bit of a disclaimer there. Cannot spell that at all. Recommended. Oh yeah, recommended. There we go. Right. So to install Docker Machine, I'm gonna have to find some very old code. So install Docker Machine. Aha, here we go. Right. Does this even exist still? Let's have a look. Does this even exist? No, it doesn't. Oh, that's dot 0. No. No. Let's just try and I mean, it might be a Git thing. Let's try and curl it down. Oops. No, doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. So we can't really talk about how to install it. The command works on Windows only. Otherwise, download the releases from the Docker release pack. Okay, let's have a look at that. Ah, ha ha ha. So we do have this. My guess is that 14. Right. So maybe it's a case of. Now we should definitely use this as a example. It has been set as read-only. So let's just, yeah, there we go. So you got some examples here of how to do it. So we could say, to simplify this, we could say to install Docker machine, please follow the guides on GitHub with the latest version, or using the latest version of Docker machine. So please follow, and we could put in please follow the guides on using guides on GitHub, and we could, there we go. Right, and I'll put in the latest version of Docker machine at the time of writing is 16. Actually, no, we don't need to put any of this stuff in, do we? That's it. Nice, short and sweet. I think that'll cover it, because there's no point in me like just basically coming out with all this again, because it's right here and they've archived this anyway. So, you know, I'm just going to reiterate all of this, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, so I think that's good enough. So Docker machine is no longer supported, and it is recommended that native Docker apps are used to control local and remote Docker engines. To install Docker machine, please follow the guides on GitHub. Follow the guide, not the guides, the guide on GitHub, using the latest version of Docker machine. Cool. I am relatively happy with that. I want to make sure that this, edit these notes, is that in the same, is this in all of them? No, it's not. So let's get rid of that. I'm guessing this gets added, because if we go over to here and have a look at the Linux one and go to there, right, because here we've got edit on GitHub, so I'm guessing that gets added by the template, and it's not in here. So There we go. Okay, so that's that one. We will also do the second one as well. So create a Docker machine. I'm going to have to look on the old GitHubs for that. So it's Docker create machine or something like that. Ah, yeah. And then you eval the environment variables. Yeah, I remember doing all this. This is like taking me back. Yeah, I remember doing all this. This was yeah. Okay. So this is creating a Docker machine. So to create one, okay, run the following to create a Docker machine. Right, so I guess this is going to be bash. Right. So we need to do Docker machine, and you give the command is create. You then give the it's the default environment, or the environment that you want to run it in. You give it the driver, so that would be driver. So you could do -- driver is equal to driver. And then you give it a name. Okay, so let's do where driver is the driver. Defines the, I don't want to use the word engine. It defines the virtual it is a driver. Virtual environment driver used to create the machine. Okay. Name is the name that is given to the machine. By default, the name default will be used. Okay, all right. So will be used full stop. And then what we could do is have let's do how have I managed to do, okay, right, so we've done H2s, have we? Yeah, because what I want to do is split this up. So I wanted to say like creating a machine, and then listing machines. Right, so to list the Docker, the installed, the created, the Docker machines, use the it's the ls command like so. So you would do again bash. You would do Docker machine ls and ls, and you would get something similar to this output. So you've got the name, which is default. You've got the whether it's active, the driver that's been running, the state, the URL, the swarm, and the version, and any errors. Okay. Okay. So I guess the next one is switching, and you would switch it by using the Docker machine env, and then you would basically put in the name of the machine that you want to switch to. So I guess we can do that in the next one. I'm thinking maybe we need to, yeah. I'm thinking we need to put in a heading here. So okay. So let's just break that out a bit. So this one here, we will do let's do Docker environments, Docker machine environments. All right, so to see the Docker machine, so each Docker machine will have its own set of environment variables. These can be accessed using the following command, which is Docker machine env, and then it's the name of the machine. where name, and put that in these little backticks here, where name is the name of the machine, of the selected machine. Cool. Cool. Okay, so where the machine is selected machine. Okay, fine. That makes sense. Then we need to change it. So once you've got your Docker machine environment variables, I mean, you'll get something a little bit like this. So if we did, so we can say the output would be similar to the following. Okay, cool. And then after this, we can switch. So we can do connect to a Docker machine. All right. To switch to a Docker machine, the environment variables must be exported to the to your shell. This is done like so. So essentially what you do is you evaluate the shell. God, this takes me back. I haven't done this in ages. Cool. Once the Docker machine environment variables have been evaluated to the current shell, the containers within that machine will be accessible by your local Docker commands. Now, apart from all the spelling and stuff, accessible, and then the other one was. Now, there's not really a lot you can do with, else with Docker machine, apart from there's a few things you can. I say you could, like when it was around. So you could do things like get the Docker machine IP. So to get the IP of a run the following. So you would just do Docker machine, and then you would get that, and then the output would be the IP of the machine. That would be the output. But once you've actually established the connection, evaluate the shell, then that's you just use your normal Docker commands. But you can obviously stop the Docker machine. So this would be something like Docker machine stop, and then name, and then let's call it default, doesn't matter. And then there's the starting of the machine as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it though. There's no point in putting that. I think that covers it. Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, okay, that's that. Aha, here's the output. Just checking it over. Are we not showing the output on this one? Why not? What's wrong? Strange. Why? What's wrong with the output on this one? What? Why don't I see any output on that one? And I don't on this one either. Is this a problem with... Is this a problem with my IDE, do you think? They're .md files. And this is genuine markdown. Weird. Nope, I don't know. Strange. Let's just copy that for a sec and put it over the top of this. No, it can't. It just can't read that file. How strange. Let's close it. Let's close all of them. It might be. Yeah. Okay. There we go. It was the IDE. IDE is just playing up. There we go. Cool. Sweet. I think I'm going to call that an evening, just because I want to just chill out this evening. But we've done some sterling work. I'm going to put this as a Git thing here. So we do git commit -am, and we are on 19. So adding code notes for Docker machine. Boom. And we'll do a git push, and we'll push that up. What's going on? Oh no. Cool. I will review that later this evening, and if I deem it acceptable, I'll merge it in. And then the next release, the Docker machine stuff will come in, which will be great. We've got loads of others to do. I mean, there is, 41? And I don't think that covers it all. What I will do, though, is... why has that not come through yet? Here we go. Yeah, compare and pull. So it is a new course. It doesn't include a transcript. And we'll create a pull request. And yeah, it's linking to that hash 19. Cool. Okay, I will review this and then decide whether to merge it in. And if it does, it'll make the cut for the next release. And then I should probably mark one of these as you know, ongoing. If I click on 19, here we go. Assign that to myself. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, thank you ever so much for watching, everyone. And I hope you're going to have a great evening, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.